Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Today it is a toasty morning here in Southwest Florida, and well, I think, believe it or not, I'm going to miss this soon. So, and I'm going to miss all of the probably the blooms on all these orchids. This is to let you know that I will, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, a sabbatical, a vacation from orchid growing here and from my videos and from a lot of different things here in Southwest Florida. So I have a family vacation coming up, and we're going someplace where there's not too many orchids, and so these guys are going to get left behind, and I'm going to miss them. I love my orchids, but I love my family even more. So I'm going on a trip, actually going to Ireland, and going to be there for a while. So this is just to let you know that that there's going to be a little bit of a gap. I'll try to post some things, but I'm not going to be here, and there's probably not going to be orchids there, and we'll just see what the situation brings. So, but what I want to do today is go over some of these orchids that I have here that I'm probably going to be missing the blooms on, and it's a shame. Nothing here that I have here that I want to share with you is first bloom, which is okay. I do have a first bloom coming up on a dendrobium, but I think I'm going to be back here for that. So it's going to be, I think the plan is, it's going to be about a month. Sorry, but that's just how it goes. And I'm going to miss probably many of these blooms, but I see some. I keep a close eye on most of the orchids in my collection. And I think that there are some that are just in a little earlier stages of flower spike that I think I'll be back here in time to see. So let me go over some of these just so you can see them. And there's bloom spikes, but no blooms on these plants. So the first one over here is, and this is just starting. I thought it might be open today, but it's not. So this one is Oncidium Sherry Baby right here, and this is one of the oldest plants that I have in my collection. The plant was huge in a small pot. I hadn't repotted it for years, so I repotted it, and it was good that I repotted it, because a lot of the bases of the plants were just disintegrated. They were gone. But since I repotted this thing, it put out a bunch of new bulbs, and it's flowering already within I think maybe 6 to 9 months of my division of this plant. And again, the plant didn't look good. I probably should have divided earlier. It's not one of my absolute favorites. It's a really common plant. I don't do any Oncidium breeding, or I haven't been successful doing it. But it's a nice plant, and I love the fragrance, the chocolate fragrance that comes from Sherry Baby. So I'm gonna miss that. Staying within the Oncidium Alliance, I have this guy, and this is a Oncidium Kenneth Bivens, and this plant has been a real surprise, a pleasant surprise for me. I got it in it's not a huge plant, but I got it in a huge pot, and I think it needs that. It's funny in the orchid world. There's people are really kind of fanatic about trying to find the right pot size. I see people commenting on a orchid Facebook group that I'm associated with, that you put it in a big pot, and it needs to be repotted, but that pot was way too big. It needs to be, the roots need to be crowded, and pot up, just one size up, just go. And what happened on this one is I just put it in a huge pot because I felt it needed it, because the roots were so they were just really compacted in the pot, the previous pot that they were in. This plant I got about not even a year ago, and it has bloomed twice since I bought it. This is the second one. I did get this from Sundance Orchids in Fort Myers, Florida, and it's just it's a great plant. And I think I'm probably going to miss the blooms on this, but I may come back to see the remnant blooms on this. The bloom spikes at the top are pretty small. So, and anyway, that's the other Oncidium that I'll probably be missing. I'm hoping that I'm going to get it's a big pot. I'm hoping I'm going to be getting a flush of growth, and that's a great plant. What's right next to it down here that you can't see, and it's a shame I'm going to be missing this bloom spike right here, but this thing blooms like crazy. So this is a Fred Clark catasetum, and this is called Graham Wood. I divided this plant, I guess maybe 6 months ago. I divided this plant, and it has both divisions. It wasn't even that big, but this thing just blooms like crazy. So I thought that if I divided it, I would get more growth and more blooms. And the other, I don't have the other division down here. It's got a smaller bloom spike on this. I'm probably going to see maybe the tail end of the blooms on this. But this is a really nice spotted catasetum. The cross that was made here, they get a variety of different flower types off of it. But I really like this one. Nice fragrance. I wish I could get a few more shoots that would come off of this. It looks a little bit ratty, which is what at least my catasetums many of my catasetums tend to do. I give it a little bit more light than my cattleyas, but it's doing well. And again, it has a bloom spike right here that's coming out on it. And again, nice fragrance, a little minty floral fragrance, but I think I'm probably going to miss this catasetum bloom. But again, the other division should be, I should be able to catch the blooms on that. Okay, so what I have here left over are 3 cattleyas, and these are the ones that I'm going to miss the most. All 3 of these are pretty close to blooming now. So the one that's the closest to bloom is this one right here that is wedged in here because it's hanging, and if I try to set it on the table, it'll fall over. So this is Siam Fancy, and Siam Fancy has, I gotta see if there's one. Oh, I might get this bloom right here. So it has a flower back here that is probably going to be open in a few days. It's got these 2 that are going to be open in a week, and this one that I didn't notice before that's still in the sheath, I bet I'll see this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. So this is again, Siam Fancy. Siam means Thailand, so it's from one of my favorite Thai breeders. And it's a smaller flower. The coloration isn't great, but it's a very vigorous plant, and I like it for that reason. So it's got some flaring in the petals. I'll post an image of the previous bloom of this plant so you can see what it looks like. But again, the main thing that I like about this plant is how vigorous it is. All right, so this is, again, Siam Fancy. And then moving on, we have another Siam over here, another one from Thailand. I don't know if it's from the same breeder. I'm sure it's from a Thai breeder, but I don't know if it's the same one as did Siam Fancy, also did Siam City. Siam City is, this is actually one of my favorites. The plant doesn't look great, and I've been dealing with some fungal issues. It's been raining here in Southwest Florida a lot, and so what happens, and one of the things that I hopefully I got under control as I planned for 1 month away, so I hit all of these with a systemic and a contact fungicide. I'm going to water today. I've done all the things that I'm supposed to do, so hopefully these guys will all be okay. But anyway, this Siam City I seem to have some issues with with some fungal issues on this plant, but it's still okay. There's a couple of blooms, and this is too bad, a couple of blooms coming out on this. I really like this flower because of the contrast. I'll put an image of this flower from the previous bloom so you can see what it looks like, but I really like the contrast between the petals and the sepals and the lip. So the lip is a little bit of a different color, and it makes it, and I like that a lot with my orchids. When you have a dark, different colored lip, it makes it stand out a little bit more. Small plants, still looking pretty good, pretty vigorous. No other blooms coming out on this. Let me see if I can see. Oh, I know where I also got this from Sundance. But let me see if I can pull the label out. The label on this, it's Sundance because it, yeah, the label cracked, the brittle labels on some of these orchids. So I have another orchid label that I put in there that is, that's gonna stick around a little while. Anyway, I like this plant. It's small, it's good size in the pot. It's got a few years of growth left on this. So this is another one. I'm not gonna even get the tail end of this. I'm gonna miss this one. Okay, the final one that I wanted to share with you today is, it's interesting. So this is Kyla Kobayashi. And I like this flower. The image that I have that I'll put on the in the video of this flower is not one that I took, because the last time that this bloomed, I also missed it. And I don't know, maybe I need to plan my my vacations at another time, but Kyla Kobayashi is a really nice flower. And this one, the image that I have, the person that collected the image comes in and looks and makes sure that nothing has fallen off the fence or out of the pergola. But the bloom wasn't quite open on that image, and I really do like the image, like the flower on this plant. I just haven't seen it bloom. The plant itself is fairly vigorous. It's in a small pot. I think I picked this up from Palmer Orchids, yeah, a few years ago, and I just wish that I was around more when this guy was blooming. So maybe one of these days when I'm here and I see the bloom, I can call it a first bloom, because I've never seen it. I've just seen images that other people have taken of my blooming orchids. All right, so that's all I have today. I've got a lot of other stuff to get ready for. I'm gonna make a few crosses before I'm gone. It's actually over a month before I'm gone for over a month. I have to fertilize. I use time release fertilizer in all of my orchids, but then I also use a water-soluble fertilizer application weekly. So these guys they're juiced. It's a weak solution. The time release is also, I use it at low concentrations. So I think I'm prepared, but I got a lot more to do as I get these guys ready. They're all going to be in their locations. If we get a hurricane come through when I'm gone, I'm just screwed. There's nothing I can do about that other than have some people come over and pick up the ones that get thrown around. But hopefully I'll be okay. The irrigation is going to work. Time release fertilizer is going to work. They've been treated and cared for as much as I can before I have to leave them for a month. So that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.